Hi, welcome to the Big Smith News Watch. My name is Michael Richmond, and with me today I have a young, inspiring, or aspiring, if I may say, sorry, environmentalist. Her name is Donella Sullivan, and she's going to share a lot with us today, a bit about herself, what she intends to achieve with her youth volunteer works that she conducts. So, Miss Donella, first of all, good afternoon and welcome to the
Good
Big Smith
afternoon.
News Watch. It's a privilege having you. So, for our viewers who don't know who Donella is, do you mind? Donella, sorry, do you mind sharing a bit about yourself with them?
Sure. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Donella Sullivan. I'm 22 years of age.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, I'm a twin. I have my twin sister. So basically, as I said, I'm 22 years. I am currently wrapping up my bachelor's in environmental studies at the University of Guyana. So it's a 4-year program, and it was quite a interesting journey. I'm quite fond of the environment and nature. I got my interest grew from in fifth form when I was first introduced by the geologists and mine company when they met with us and they told us more about the environment and nature. I was in the science stream. My passion for it was to be a pediatrician. However, when I learned that pediatrician is not merely just to look after children, it's more to be a doctor, I figured that this isn't directly what I wanted. And so my main reason why I wanted to be a pediatrician is because I have a passion for children and for youth and to assist persons. However, I recognize that I can do that as well as to pursue a career in science stream, in the science field. And so there's where I branch into environmental studies. I completed CAPE following fifth form. I finished my CXC at President's College and then I went on to CAPE at Queen's College. And my journey for environmental studies at the university began in 2019 and currently I am wrapping up this year, should be graduating at the end of the year. And so it was like an interesting journey passing through COVID-19 and all of these things that occurred. It was challenging. It had its moments of feeling like want to give up, but I'm glad that to know that this is the end. Basically, I'm at the end, the lap.
The last
Yeah,
lap. So
yes.
definitely, but also, um, who knows? Then Danella would actually know that you are you are so strong about educating youths on the right choices and what you think they should do to be a better male or female in society. Where did
True.
that love actually stem from? Was it something from the baby age?
Yes. So when I was a child growing up, even to this day, my parents, they're well known in the community because we have a lesson.
Yeah.
And from that tender age, I grew into the lesson basically because it's more, our lesson is almost as old as I am.
Wow.
So when I grew into it, I saw my parents helping children in different areas. Not it lesson wasn't about just teaching children, but we also had our own like connection with some of the children because some of them were hurt in different areas and we being exposed to those things, it caused me to want to pursue into this field of helping and doing voluntary work to help persons within as much as I can within my capacity. So that is where the interest of first become a pediatrician began because I merely understood what that was about. So I said I wanted to become a pediatrician and I also with the intention of I want to open an orphanage, I want to do these kind of things. And so as I did mention earlier, it's like I grew and I realized, hey, pediatrician is not, it's more about being a
Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah.
And that wasn't really my field because I'm somebody that I kind of can't deal with blood
Blood
and
and
those
that stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
right? So I went into the environmental studies, but my passion towards helping students and helping others did not die. I get into voluntary work. I've been in actively in my youth, in my church and all of these things in order to really like help persons in society, help with awareness campaigns as much as I could. And yeah, that's just all where it began for me, like
But
the
since you
journey.
mentioned the fact of actually learning this through a lesson and the church and the group and so on,
Yes.
leads me now to ask how important it is, for our community actually to actually help shape young men and women. How important is that?
Well,
What do you think?
that's a really great question. So I recognize that I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I reside in Beirut on
Yeah.
the east coast of the Muara. And for my community, it really had a bad stigma attached to it. From the points of me growing up and recognizing that, based on at the time, based on lack of resource and lack of persons, leaders and effective guidance and so
Yeah.
on, it didn't really mold the student to person so well and groom them well. So I recognize that those things are highly needed, and children are our future, right? So
Yeah.
if we don't like positively impact their life and pour into them, they're going to grow up and they're just going to go wherever the wind blows.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like no guidance is there, and so they're just going to go out there and just be whatever they want to be. I'm not saying you cannot be what you want to be in life, but we need guidance, right? And I realize the downfalls in certain environments where there's failures in leadership,
Yeah.
society crumbles. So I recognize it occurred in my village in the past. And until of recent, like certain development occur and there are more better leadership, a multitude of young people are rising up, and so they can
Yeah.
help with community work. Like we are building each other up, basically. So
So, are there, like, besides the lesson and the churches, are there any other things that you do within your, community to help, advocate, for young men and women to actually, you know,
well,
make a
I
change?
besides being involved in the youth group and church, I mainly like try to I live my life to be basically a role model to others,
Very important.
and
Yeah.
I also try to um, be involved in others' life, like personally, because there are a number of persons where I try to build a relationship with them because I realized that they were lacking certain support in their
Mm-hmm,
life.
mm-hmm.
So I recognize sometimes we would want to be involved in voluntary work, and you can have the media at you and you feel good about it, but you also need to be personal with persons too. And
Yeah.
I, within the recent year, I vowed myself to be more personal with persons and try to meet them at those points, because sometimes you're in a big group, and even though you're like together, it's like nobody don't really know each other
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
and you might be hurting and like nobody's like you get a personal bond too. So I vow myself to basically like be involved with person, and there are even instance I'm a member of one church, but I'm also involved in one of the youth ministries at another church, all
Great.
because I want to, when I go there, it's not just about like going for my own sake, but I want person must able to see me as a role model, like somebody to look up to, and if I can try my best to build relationship with those individuals, I would try doing that. And one thing I must add, person might be surprised because I this is not the same person that I probably was like at least 4 years ago.
Great.
Yeah, I've really like grown and recognized how valuable these things are in terms of pushing yourself to meet person, because I was at a place where I needed those things in life.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, since I'm not getting this, why not me do this for
Mm-hmm.
others, basically.
And lastly, Danella, what advice would you give to any young man or young, woman out there that wants to, pursue social works or even become,
Volunteer.
a young environmentalist? What
Mhm.
advice would you give to any of them?
Okay, so as long as you know any young person that wants to be involved in these things, as long as you know to yourself, this is your dream, this is what you want, I would advise the person to go after it. Like, this is what you're passionate about. Don't allow nobody to basically influence you and say that this isn't going to be much purpose or
Yeah.
it's not going to impact know anyone, or it's don't allow nobody to basically look down upon the dream, because you never know who you might go out there and assist, and
Yeah.
it might look insignificant to somebody, but it might be significant to another.
Thank you.
Sure.
Our greatest advice is never to let anyone, deter you from your focus, your goal, or actually your initiative. Again, Donella, it was actually such a wonderful opportunity speaking to you, understanding the way you think, the way you see yourself making a positive change in your community, in the
Hmm.
country, and also we're open to see this change, span even across the world. So
Sure.
again, it's been a wonderful time speaking with you.
Thank
Wish you
you.
nothing but the best
Sure.
and
Thank you.
all the success in the world.
Yeah. Bye
Thanks a
bye.
lot. Bye, guys.